What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the stream. I know it's late. I apologise. There's no polls. You might as well just tune out now. Don't watch any of this rubbish. Annoyingly, I couldn't stream yesterday. I got back too late. Would have been perfect because the game week actually finished on a Sunday. But whatever, I couldn't stream. Then today, gym. Then I had to watch Game of Thrones before I can venture back onto the internet. So I've seen that now. We're not going to talk about Game of Thrones. No spoilers in the chat, please, because it's very annoying. So yeah, that's why I'm late. I thought I'd get a stream up before Thursdays and the preview on probably Wednesday this week. And talk about how rubbish FPL is. Kyle, 100 points. How did everyone get on this week? Saw some pretty big scores from a lot of people. I got 80, which is actually rubbish because I feel like most people had or probably should have had triple Liverpool. And they kind of, 50 points for 3 players. And then only 30 from the other 8 is not great, to be honest. 107, 131, 132. I saw, I think, let's have a look. Yeah, in the main public league, Let's Talk FPL League, Block FPL, who's on Twitter, is top now with 2461. Shannon, who's been in and around the top for ages. I think her boyfriend or partner or husband or something watches the stream. Although I can't remember who it is. But she's nailing it. She's number 13 in the whole world. Number 2 in the league. So definitely going down to the final week in that regard. The guy at the top though, top of everything, is like 50 points clear or something. 60 points maybe? Let me have a quick look. Overall, he is 68 points clear with 2 games to go. He has won. Adam Levy has won. Wherever you are, if you watch the stream, you're not in the league, get in the league. But congratulations on winning FPL. Even though it'll still be really stressful the next 2 weeks. Jota in for a 1-week punt versus Fulham. I mean, Jota's in such good form, yes. What kind of an idiot would bench Jota? My highest ever score. What, like game week score? Rank? Screwed everything by bringing in Aguero last week. It wasn't that bad. 9 points this week. More, yeah, we'll talk about options and stuff in a minute. I mean, Wolves against Fulham. I mean, Wolves have been pretty good against the top 6. They've still been okay against the rest of them. But I mean, Fulham are awful. I watched that Fulham Cardiff game. Babel, yeah, he played okay. Mitrovic skied good few chances. But I mean, really, Fulham was still bad. And Wolves are not bad. So, I think there's every chance the Wolves will do really well there. I'm definitely going to play all 3 of my Wolves players for sure. So I think Jota looks good. But obviously then they play Liverpool away. So if you bring Jota in, I feel like you are probably relying on that Fulham game quite a bit. Yes, okay, they've done well against the top 6. But I mean, that could be a really tense final game. If it goes to the final game of the season and Liverpool, obviously you're going to want to keep a clean sheet, get the win. Could be really tense, and Wolves could find it really hard to score. But at the end of the day, Liverpool will have to go for it in that game. Whatever happens, Liverpool will have to win. I don't know. There's probably some maths where they can draw and win. I don't know. I'm not going to work it out now. But they're going to have to get something against Wolves, no matter what happens this week. For them to win it, of course. If they lose this week and Man City win, then it's all over. Don't want that to happen. It'd be nice for it to go down to the final day. Just to confirm, unless something happens in real life, which is a complete possibility, I will be streaming during the matches on the final game week of the season on Sunday afternoon at like 3 o'clock. Is it 2 or 3? So that should be good. Hopefully the league is still in play. 3 o'clock. So I might do a deadline stream over 2 o'clock and then cut the stream and put another one up for 3. We'll see how it goes. 1 point between us. Nice. Good luck, Matt. Or Matthew. I don't know if you like to be called Matt. Yeah, I went down in rank. I was in the top 10k. I was like 9,200 or something. Now I'm 12,595. Like I said, the Liverpool players really masked a pretty poor week. You can say that points are points or whatever, but at the end of the day, Liverpool players scoring points are not how I'm going to gain rank at the moment. That's just how I'm going to keep rank. So that was a bit disappointing. Obviously not disappointing that Liverpool did well for me. And obviously it was nice to bring in Trent for Koscielny, who didn't even start. But benching Jota, yeah, I mean, looks like obviously it was a mistake now. And I'm a bit annoyed because Jota was my gut instinct to play. I know hindsight, but he was in my team. I swapped him in on the last day because DFA was at home, and I don't know. DFA he was my bench player, and for anyone that watches the streams, I always have a 5th or an 8th attacker who I just don't play. And really, it should be DFA. I've said in the past he's very hit and miss. He's got 50% of his points or something stupid like that from 2 teams. So yeah, it was a mistake, but a punishing one. Probably be in the top 10k. I think someone tweeted me and said they're 14 points ahead of me, and they're like 8,800, so it's still really close at the top. And if I play Jota, I'd be in the top 10k basically. So that is very frustrating. David, thanks very much for that. How am I triple captain? Oh, I think you've got to go for the City player. I mean, Southampton doing okay. Redmond, sorry, I'm really tired. Not going to be a good stream, I'll tell you now. Just tune out. I mean, Redmond is a bit of a flair choice. And they have been doing well, but I feel like you've got to back the City player. Sterling's an interesting one because I put my team up for this week instead of doing the review. So I still don't have Sterling. And obviously a lot of people are asking about Eriksen, who I do have. And my gut instinct is to keep my team as it is this week, which is very boring with only 2 weeks to go, I know. But Spurs, the fact that it's wedged in between 2 Champions League games is pretty frustrating. But Spurs haven't got top 4 locked up. Unfortunately, Arsenal couldn't get points, and United and Chelsea drew, which didn't. You know, Spurs are pretty sure Spurs are going to get top 4, but it's obviously not confirmed yet. And the fact that Son's going to miss the first game, you think he's probably got the legs to play Bournemouth and the second leg. And a lot will depend on how the first leg goes. We'll have to see for that as well. But it's Bournemouth, and I always say it, they're a team that I would expect to concede goals most of the time. Not a team that I would back for clean sheets, that's for sure. So I'm tempted to keep him. Obviously, going without Sterling, you know, it's not nice. But sometimes I have this fixation on getting a player in like Sterling. They just end up doing nothing. They didn't do anything this week. But Leicester, you think, will attack more than Burnley did and leave space. You got the likes of Sterling and Sané. Up against who? Ricardo and Chilwell. I mean, they're not the slowest, but if they can get inside, then it's Maguire and Evans. I don't know. It's interesting. As for so I'm siding with keeping my Spurs boys, especially Son. Eriksen's the possible one to go. He's played a lot of minutes, and you know, part of me just thinks he could just carry on. He's obviously got the stamina for it. Or he'll get rested. It's a really important game. I think my decision will rest on what happens in the Champions League game. Obviously, it was frustrating or annoying the first game against Man City because it was such a low score. You didn't know who was going to go through. If that happens again, like if they get absolutely tanked by Ajax, and it looks really unlikely they're going to go through, then I'd probably keep them. But then maybe they'll be knackered from that game. So yeah, I'm siding with keeping right now, but I don't know. Maybe by the time we get closer to the deadline, I'll be looking to make a move for Eric. It'll be Eriksen for sure. I think he's more expensive. There's more money to play with. Son's a bit cheaper, and obviously Son's going to get his rest. As for Lacazette, a few people asking me about him again. I mean, my first thought, I suppose, is to sell him because he's been rubbish since I bought him in. But then I look at the fixture. It's Brighton at home. I'm going to have to monitor again I'm probably going to say this a lot. I'm going to have to monitor what happens in Europe. You know, does he and Aubameyang play? Does Aubameyang get the rest? Do one of them come off early? Again, they're still fighting for top 4. And Brighton at home has got to be a good fixture for Arsenal. They're not going to play as badly as they did against Leicester. I mean, Leicester were much the better team. Obviously, the red card didn't help. So I'm thinking of keeping all my players and going into the final game week with 2 free transfers and then seeing what I need to make up and go from there. Obviously, a lot of people in the chat talking about Man United players. Obviously, you all know who I'd like to get in, Alexis Sanchez, but yeah, that's not happening. Too expensive, no guarantee starts. He's just gone. He's just not a good player at the moment. Whether that will change next season, I don't know. And I'd love to get him in. I'd love for the dream of him to get a double-figure haul and smash me into the top 10k, but realistically, it's not going to happen. So it then comes down to the likes of Rashford, who might be injured. I don't think there's been any news on him. It didn't look like, or it didn't sound like it was a really bad injury. I guess we'll have to wait and see. So Pogba, Martial, I don't know. They just don't inspire me that much. Pogba's probably the one. Ahead of, like, Martial doesn't inspire me that much. Pogba, I guess, has got penalties. And it's Huddersfield. And like we said on the last stream, or the last preview, or whatever it was, Huddersfield allow someone to score good points. And that could well be Pogba. So I like Pogba. Someone mentioned Shaw then. I completely missed who. Freddy's. Said about Luke Shaw. Yeah, he'd probably be the defender of choice. Could be a nice little option for the last two. 2 clean sheets, definitely a possibility. Maybe chance of attacking returns. Pogba's probably not going to play as defensive with Herrera and Matic fit. I don't know if Matic will keep starting. Maybe he was in that Chelsea game for the experience. Yeah, Lukaku, flat track bully. Again, though, he's just not looked good recently. Okay against Chelsea for a bit. It's Huddersfield and Cardiff, though, right? That has to play a big part of our thinking. You know, we're not bringing in these players and hope they do something against Arsenal and Spurs. So I really think if you're thinking about Man United players, I think there is logic to doing it for sure. There you go. Versus Huddersfield, Goraus now would look good. Block, welcome to the stream, by the way. Congratulations on going top of our league. I think you're 10th overall, I want to say. That is nosebleed territory. Yeah, 10th overall. 2461. Jesus, you're nearly 100 points behind number 1. That's insane. Between 10th and number 1. What is it? 87 points. 87 points between the 10th place person and first. Crazy. But you have a really good chance of getting top 5. Maybe even top 3. Which would be nice. You could even come second. I think anyone chasing number 1 right now is going to be out of luck. At this point, everyone else has got to go for differentials. He's loaded up on pretty good players. Even benched Jota this week. He's still like crazy ahead. Yeah, Block. You give us the tips. I'll sit here and wait. I'll sit here and read. Oh, hang on, sorry. Sorry, man. Yeah, anyway, that's done. Sorry. You can still get second. I just think first is crazy. No, you're right, Opus. I'm fully with you. Yeah, Jimenez captain is an interesting one. I actually put it on him originally. Well, you know, when the game updates on Saturday, obviously set your team straight away, and I actually set it to Jimenez. Now I thought it could be Jota as well. I'll probably go Aguero. Yeah, correct. Sun does not play versus Ajax. Will Lacazette start versus Brighton? Yeah, I'm gonna have to wait on. I'm gonna have to wait on Europe to decide that, and then even then, how can I know for sure? I think if I get cold feet with Eriksen and Lacazette, I'm gonna take a hit and get Sterling. I think gonna get Sterling in because no matter what happens, Man City cannot lose the league this week. Liverpool can, but Man City can't. So, like I said earlier, I think Leicester will afford more chances for Man City because they'll probably go for it. They're not going to sit back deep. But Leicester are a really good team. I mean, they're playing Man City, right? And they're the best team in the league. But I mean, Leicester got a really good team there. So they could cause them problems. But at the same time, I do think they're going to let them have more chances. All it would take for Man City to get an early goal, and then who knows. But we saw them at the end of last season dry up with the goals. But they'd already won the league then. So, I don't know, it's difficult to say. Will Firmino play against Newcastle? We'll have to wait and see. Klopp kind of laughed off the talk about him being out for the season. He basically said, don't trust everything you see on social media, but again, we don't know until they talk about it more. Huddersfield have a 100% win record at home against United in the Premier League. Damn. Am I a typist? No, but I can type quick. Should you bin Eriksen for Jota? I don't know if that's like a absolute must transfer. Up from 13k to 8k, is it worth taking a hit just to get Aguero to confirm winning your mini leagues? I mean, people don't like it to be said, but yeah, blocking is a viable tactic. Like if Aguero's like the only one you don't own who you think can really hurt you, and you're far ahead, it's going to cost you 4 points to block everyone else. Why not? I mean, Rashford might be the main man if he's fit. I know they've been poor, but surely you can't completely disregard Man United. No, absolutely not. Like you say, someone's going to get points against Huddersfield. I'm not going to talk about Game of Thrones. I'm not going to tell you whether I liked it, whether I didn't. And like anyone that talks about it in the chat, like spoilers, will be duly kicked from the chat because it's not fair on people that haven't seen it. Sorry, Gra, I've just seen that. Thanks for that. TAA Shaw or Laporte for Duffy. You already own Van Dijk. Yeah, I've got double Liverpool defence, but I'm happy enough to play them both this week. I'm not sure I'd want to play them both against Wolves. So I'm already thinking ahead to maybe benching one, although I guess once I've got both, I can't do that. I think Laporte is interesting because I'm completely gutted I didn't get him on wildcard. You've already got Van Dijk, so you will be doubling. But it's Leicester. I can see Leicester scoring. I'd be tempted just to go for Shaw. Depends how ballsy you're feeling. A spoiler about Lewis Dunk, he sucks. Absolutely does. Sorry. So I should have said, any spoilers for anything, you'll be blocked. Job done. Your bench looks weak if Eriksen gets the rest. Yeah, potentially, but he also might just play. You don't have the bench options to bench Liverpool defending. Not this week, but next week. Maybe. I can't remember even who's playing who next week. Man United vs Huddersfield spoiler. Sanchez blanks. Ouch. Yeah, I mean, talking about Chong, Sanchez, I mean, they're just Man United players should just not going to get in. That'd be such a massive punt. Got any advice for those taking exams? Revise, revise, revise. Then revise a bit more. Then you don't have to stress last minute to cram. Would you do Jota and Duffy to Redmond and Robbo for a hit in Game Week 3? I mean, probably not, but let's wait until Game Week 38 and decide. True, yeah. Trent and Robertson, lots of assists between them. If Rashford's confirmed fit, I do like Rashford to Lacazette to Rashford. The only thing is, let me just double check. I don't think that gives me enough money to do Eriksen to Sterling. Oh, it does. Okay. So that is something I can get behind. If they're all confirmed fit. Lacazette to Rashford, Eriksen to Sterling. I mean, that's one of those moves that can completely backfire, though, because Lacazette's got a good game. Eriksen's got a good game for goals as well. And 4 points. That could really hurt. Aguero or Hazard captain. I think... I don't think safe is the word, but more people, especially higher up the ranks, are probably going to captain Aguero because most of them don't own Hazard. So I think at this stage of the season, someone like Hazard is a pretty nice differential captain. So if you need to maybe get up the ranks a bit, could be good. Cheers, Big Dave. 104 points, 400k overall, up 130k. Damn, up the barrow. Playoffs, I don't know. I couldn't even tell you who's in the playoffs. I'll be completely honest, like I always am with you guys. I have zero knowledge about the championship. Zero. So I know Norwich and Sheffield United are up. No idea who could be good assets next year. Got my eye on absolutely no one. I'll do the research before the season starts. And my strategy usually is to get no one maybe, but usually no newly promoted players. So yeah, I got no one in mind, I'm afraid. People keep chucking names at me, no idea who they are. I did start with I didn't start with no walls. I had Jota, so I'd heard lots of good things, and I just had enough money for him. And obviously, he didn't start out well, but he's really found his form. Ranks are so close, taking a hit is bad if your team already has decent fixtures. That's why I'm more tempted to just stick and just hope for the best. And just save the transfer going into the last game. Who do Arsenal have on the last day? It's Burnley away, is it? Yeah. Europe will definitely influence my thinking this week. How many penalty takers will you look to have? Quite a few, to be honest. What will Mane's price be? He'll have to be a bit more expensive. I would say. I mean, 214 points. I'd say he's 10.5 next year. 10.5, maybe 10. Maybe 10 just because of Salah. Also, predictions-wise, for my end-of-season predictions, my top scoring goalkeeper, I put Ederson just because I didn't want to choose Alisson and Robertson. So Ederson's getting close, but he's got to make up 7 points. Seems unlikely. Robertson is top scoring defender. He is top scoring defender, but he's only 12 points ahead of Van Dijk. That's crazy. And Trent, who has missed quite a few games. Like, he's missed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 games where he's fully missed out. And he's still on 160 points in the third highest defender. I mean, Liverpool have been ridiculous. I'd hate to see that. Like, everyone's saying I'm going to double up on Liverpool. I'm going to get Sigurdsson and Jota from the start. Wait till you see the price of the Liverpool defence, and it will be tough to double up on them. Salah top scoring midfielder, which it looks like he'll probably get that now. High scoring forward, I went for Aubameyang, and he is 9 points behind Aguero, so I think I'm screwed there. Salah will absolutely be the most expensive because he's smashed it again. He's the highest scorer for the second year running. 200. He's going to be over 250 points. I mean, 300 was crazy. Getting more than 250 the next season is crazy. He'll be 13 million again, whether he's a forward or not. I'm not sure they'll decrease his price. The thing is, I haven't worked it out, so I don't know exactly how it will work out, but yes, he'll get less points for his goals, and obviously no clean sheets, so his points probably will decrease, but he'll get more bonus potential. That's the only thing from the goals. Do I think Robertson will be 7 or 7.5? I think probably 7.5. He's the first defender to ever go past 200. I think 7.5. There'll be no real reason why. There'll be no real reason why Liverpool won't get as many clean sheets. Anyway, that's all next season. See if we've got any more questions for this season we haven't already done. I'm going to have to wrap up soon. I know it's been early. I know there's no polls. I'm sorry again. You know what they say. It's just the way it is. Doodaloo, doodaloo, doodaloo. Next season's going to be tough. I'll tell you now, one thing, I'm sure you've played FPL for a while, but one thing you come to learn with FPL is just a constant rotation. Every year is the same. The prices will be released. Everyone will say it's impossible to build a team. People will build a team. Everyone will use their wildcards early. Anyone that doesn't use their wildcard will say they should have used it early. Anyone that uses it will say they should have used it later. It's just constant same thing. It won't be impossible to build a team. It will be impossible to build your team that you ended Gameweek 38 with. Guaranteed. Yeah, triple captain. We didn't even talk about that. I mean, it's easy to say now that it was an obvious move, but I don't know. To me, it just felt like Huddersfield had been so bad, Liverpool was so good. I didn't feel like there was a better captaincy. And I know what it's like when you've got... The chip does stress you out. Even though it's not worth that many points, you still think about it so much. And I think some people overthought it so much they just didn't want to captain Liverpool players against Huddersfield. Which is a bit odd, I suppose, but... They... Yeah. I mean, if you triple captain, fair play. Sané sucks. Will I change my thinking on triple captain? I think... I don't know. I don't like making... I don't like saying I've learned or I'm going to change them for the next season based on hindsight. Like, in hindsight, Sané was a little bit of a rotation risk, of course. Did I expect him just to get 1 point? Absolutely not. Even if you played one game, you'd expect points. And I had triple captain on Aguero beforehand, so it's not like it was a risky double game week necessarily. You just got the wrong player. I do think triple captain is overrated a bit. Obviously, those that put it on Salah are absolutely not thinking that, but I think it's overrated a bit. I'm gonna try and not let it stress me out as much. And I'm definitely now open to using it in a single game week, where kind of everything aligns. A team's really out of form, a team's in good form. You know they're going to start for sure. Do you know what I mean? I didn't really have that many concerns over Mane or Salah being rested. So it kind of all fell into place for them. But I'm still going to use it in a double game week if the chance arises. Absolutely. I mean, let's remember, I think last season as well, Salah didn't get a double game week last season either. Imagine if Liverpool get a double game week. That could be big. It's interesting, Super Tiger. I think I don't want to look for differentials for the sake of it. Do you know what I mean? Like, a lot of people captain a City player this week. I could captain a Wolves player as a differential. Is that just trying to be too differential? I mean, there's only about 10 points into the top 10k. It's really not that much. You know, Lacazette, is he a big enough differential on his own? Is he even worth it? I don't know. These are all the things I'm thinking about. So I'm pretty tempted to hold and make any... At the end of the day, I'm not going to finish on a bad rank at this point, really. I'm going to be really disappointed if I finish outside the top 10k. And I think it's a big possibility now that I kind of messed up last week. But it is only one bad decision. So we'll see. I'm not really looking to go different for the sake of it. I'm pretty happy with the team I have right now. Even though, yeah, it's very similar to other people's. If I own Sterling, would I captain over Aguero? I think a lot of its grass is always greener. Because I don't own Sterling, I feel like he is the better option. I think both good. I'd almost toss a coin. I suppose if it's close, I do usually side with the midfielder, yeah. Because obviously more points for goals, clean sheet potential as well. Even though I think Vardy will probably have another pie. Yeah, I'm going to captain Aguero. I'm pretty sure about that. What do I think Pulisic will be priced? That's a good question. I mean, that one, yeah, probably around William price, but maybe a bit more expensive. Maybe like an 8.5. I suppose it depends who's still at Chelsea next year. It's hard to price him until you know what like if Hazard leaves, what does Pulisic play on the right? I think he does, right? Then Hazard will be on the left. So if Hazard leaves, does that put Hudson-Odoi's price up? If Pedro and Willian are still there, do they still get minutes? I think Pulisic gets priced pretty favourably, I'd say. Right, it's late. I'm going to leave it there. I'm sorry there was no polls. I'm sorry this was super short. I'm sorry this wasn't yesterday. Life sometimes happens. But there will be... I'm hosting the Scoutcast tomorrow. Or on it. Doing a bit of hosting, but on it tomorrow. So yeah, hosting the Scoutcast tomorrow. And then there'll be a preview on Wednesday and another stream on Thursday. And then we are done for the penultimate game week of this season. So I'll ask for... It's Friday deadline again. So stream on Thursday... Friday deadline, ready to go. And then, yeah. Then we'll be into the final game week. And there will be a stream unless something happens on the final day of the season during the games. I'm hoping there's a lot riding on it. Especially the league. It'd be suck if the league's over. But I'm hoping for Liverpool and Man City both to win this week. So it keeps going. So I'm going to leave it there. Like, if you haven't already, be much appreciated. Again, apologies for it not being the usual time, day, all that jazz, but appreciate you guys for tuning in, and I will catch you next time. See ya.